Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Grave Reviews Thursday Night Frights. My name is Alan, and my co-host Chris is with me tonight. How are you doing tonight,
We're
sir?
back, baby. We're back. We're
You know,
back. We're talking some horror. We're talking some Stephen King horror. We're talking Welcome to Derry. I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad to be back. Also, it's kind of funny. Chris and I, we don't talk about what we're reviewing beforehand. Tonight, before the show, we were just kind of catching up because it's been a couple of weeks since we've talked to each other, and it's funny. I said, it because we've had a couple of weeks where we just haven't been able to go live and we haven't been able to do this. And it always puts us both in a really weird spot because we love, if I'm not, I'm not speaking
Yeah,
for you, we both love doing this so much. It's
definitely.
kind of it's a release for us. But last Christmas, it was the exact same thing between Thanksgiving and Christmas. We were lucky to do one or two shows because, life gets in the way. You know why? Because we're adults now. And let's face it,
Yeah.
adulting sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
There are
takes
certain responsibilities that come along with it, and the lack of naps is disturbing.
It is. It is. It's very disturbing. So this week we're talking about episode 5 and 6 for Welcome to Derry. So before we do that, let's do this, shall we?
Let's do it.
Turn down the lights. It's time for Thursday Night Frights. We're here to be your guide through horrors, thrills, and schlocky slides. Thursday night, feel the scare. Horror talk beyond compare. They'll roast, they'll toast, they'll recommend what's creepy, what's scary, they horror friends. From slashers to ghosts, they've seen it all. Monsters and mayhem, they'll make the call. Is it a scream or a total flop? They'll tell you what's hot and what's pure schlock. Thursday night, feel the scare. Horror talk beyond compare. They'll roast, they'll toast, they'll recommend what's creepy, what's campy, they horror friends. We lift a drink and toast to you. The talking dead know what to do. With laughs and chills, they'll set the tone. Thursday nights, you're welcome home. So join the fright, don't miss the show. Alan and Chris are here, ready to go. They'll roast, they'll toast, they'll recommend what's creepy, what's campy, they horror friends. Thursday night, feel the scare. Horror talk beyond.
I love it. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight we are taking a walk down Nebolt Street for episode 5 of Welcome to Derry. And so just and so everyone knows, there will be some slight spoilers if you have not seen this show. You should have went watch it during that intro because let's face it, we're gonna don't ever skip the intro. The intro,
No, don't ever because now we're back. The
Yeah,
intro played. It's official now.
it's
so.
official now, and it's the best part of the show. Really, sometimes. No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not. But,
no,
but it is.
We're
fun.
okay.
We're all right. We do a decent job. We do slight spoilers for the show. I know it's relatively new. We like to do stuff that we can really delve deep into, but this is one of those that we're kind of trying to stay on top of it. So we're holding hands. We're skipping merrily down Nebolt Street. Why are we on Nebolt Street this week, Chris?
We are on Nebolt Street because that is the location to the entrance for our Galoo, our Pennywise, our thing that likes to wake up every 27 years, hangry and just looking to season some children.
Hangry as full.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. No, we're here because that's we found out that's where the entrance is to get down into the tunnels to get to the lair. We
Yes.
found out through Rose via our general there, our commander there, that's where they're going.
And I love the fact that they use this as a callback to the movies and the book. I mean, the book showed that this house was important, but then they kind of expanded that lore through the last movie, both chapters 1 and chapter 2. And so the fact that they tied that into this is just another wonderful aspect of how they're building the world lore. And I love it because it's you know, we've as Stephen King fans, Chris and I have talked about this in the past. We kind of had this thing where we kind of understood that a lot of his stories kind of went hand in hand. They're all in the same proverbial universe, if you will. So to see that in this and how they're tying these things together, as little as the trip to Shawshank, you know, and things that we've talked about in the past, I'm still enjoying that. Do you think that they did a good job? Again, we're just talking overviews right now. Do you think they did a good job of keeping us in on 5? Because I mean, every episode so far has been great. I don't think 5 was a letdown at all. How about you?
I've not seen any of these episodes, which we find in a lot of shows as filler episodes. Just fill it up with some stuff. Things go on to kind of move the plot forward. No, we've got some real connections to the movies. The Proto Losers Club.
Yes.
Is walking through the tunnels of the sewers and the gray water, just like our Losers Club will, 27 years from this point,
yes,
in 1989. So, I like where we're touching and we're hitting on it, and we are this Easter eggs. To say it again, there's so many Easter eggs through these episodes that link this to other works that kind of take place in the Stephen King macroverse, they call it, where everything is connected. It's kind of like Marvel, but way before Marvel decided to really pull it off as far as. Yeah. So, this is it's a wild ride coming into this. The tension through this episode in the tunnels was great. Us knowing that the Proto Loser Club is digging around through the same tunnels that the military decided to send some armed individuals in to go find the weapon.
Yes.
So because weaponizing an ancient entity that eats worlds,
it's a great idea. great idea to use it against a country that has nuclear capabilities. That's a wonderful idea.
Great recipe for success, but not the kind you're looking for.
No. I also love the fact that Bill. Should I even say that? What the hell? I like the fact that we finally get Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise in this episode.
This is great. We went five episodes before we got a full-on clown coming at us.
Yeah, we've heard his voice
form. We've seen his other forms that he's come through. I personally love the Native American throwback when he was the glue, the evil Mesopotamian kind of demonic entity that drags souls to the underworld. And that's now he's found the clown that, statistically speaking, clowns are scary as fuck. So,
and I love the Skarsgård little cameos, if you will, to this point. The
voice in the background. Yeah.
Who are you? That type of thing. When you hear that, or when you hear him as Lily's father, or what have you, they've been doing such a great job of just building this step at a time. And
I think part of this is that I heard that Skarsgård wasn't even attached to this until the Screen Actors Guild strikes went in.
Yeah.
Basically freeing up his schedule to where he kind of came on after filming had already started.
Really?
So whether that led into it, or it was, that's why if he had a hand in coming into this, what is creative. But to keep him very minimal up until this point, and even in this one, he's only on screen for a very short time.
Oh yeah, not long at all.
But his presence is felt throughout.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Exactly.
Um,
I think they really this episode also did a really good job of okay. It did a really good job, and then he kind of this is the only episode that actually had something that in the episode that made me want to go, what the is going on? And that was the handling of Will
mm,
Hanlon,
oh,
the father, because they've been talking about how he's not able to be afraid through the whole thing, but
oh
yet,
yeah, his dad. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but and then all of a sudden
His wife
he's
comes at him.
yeah, well, not only that, but um he's showing fear. It's the only way
That's
I know
why
how
I
to
felt
put it.
that too. I
Yeah,
felt like he showed some
yeah,
real fear.
yeah, which
And
I think.
we know Pennywise gets into your head and he
Yep.
knows what your fears are. And it's funny that he chose the wife, and kind of came at him the way he came at him, to
Oh,
where
oh,
it
that
was,
scene was so well done.
it was heavy, man. There's some like real good jump scares in this one.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
and a lot of like knowing that Pennywise is a master of not just eating children and making people float,
Yeah.
be preachy, but also that he has. They mention in the episode before that he basically his defecation gets into the water,
Yeah.
and that's messing the town up. I mean,
Yeah.
that's essentially what they're saying. Like he pees upstream, and you're drinking it, and now you're under his spell.
Yeah.
So, I like how they play that off, that where you really get the feel that it's not just a monster. This is an entity that is in full control of all of Derry.
Of all of it. Yeah, he's even to the point, and they mentioned this in passing, kind of hinted at it, that while he's sleeping, he actually causes things to prosper so that
Yeah.
people won't want to leave.
They forget about the bad times, look at the good times.
Yep. Yep.
It's wild that
Really,
we
really
see this.
wonderful. I mean, what kind of demented mind Stephen King can
Mhm.
come
Yeah,
up
right.
with this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um, I loved also. Okay, so I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna bring this one up just yet, because to me this is the integral part of five. This is why five existed, and that's what happened in the middle. Therefore, happened at the end. Well,
Right.
I'll touch on that when the times are right, and I think that we're a little too quick for that right now.
Okay.
Uh, but um, something happened in this 5 and 6 that it took me this long in the show to realize, and I wanted to bring this up. I know that I'm actually jumping way ahead, but I don't. It's something that if you haven't watched 6 for the second time again, there's a really great jump scare in there.
Mm.
We won't talk about what that is just yet, but there's a couple of times that we get references to oh, I just said her name a few minutes ago. Her father,
Oh,
Lily's dad.
right.
Um, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but you ever notice that his hand is on the top of his head? He's
Yeah.
holding his head in place to keep it
He's
from
holding his head together because it was sliced up like pickles.
It is the little itty bitty things that they do like that make you just sit back and go, oh, their continuity has been perfect so far.
Yeah,
There has
the
really not been any issues.
I have not found. I think the graveyard scene was probably, when you look at overall CGI through this, the
Not
graveyard scene is the only one, and I'll give it a pass on it because it made me go, "Oh, shit's going to happen now."
yeah.
Because like the upward angle of the bike riding was, it was like an ET kind of feel to it. Like
Yep.
we're gonna those bikes are gonna take off the ground and they're gonna start flying. And the ghosts appear. So I'll say that was a crack a little bit in the armor of what we're seeing.
Yep.
Other than that, very visceral, very in your face. Like we're going to push it just to the next level. Even when it's, we come later on with poor Marge and her disfigurement.
Yeah.
They kind of went a little extra on that one too, and I kind of.
But I liked it.
It was good. It was good. It was good
liked
practical effect. Like that's
Yep.
she
Yeah,
messed
and,
her.
and I will say this, that Marge and oh, what is his name? I don't want to say it like this because I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying something improper, but this is the way the show
Richie.
Yeah, Richie. You
Rich.
know,
Yeah.
little Ricky, right?
Yeah, he's the Puerto
Yes,
Rican kid.
Puerto
Yeah.
Rican.
Or no,
Uh,
Cuban. Sorry,
Cuban.
I
You're right.
apologize.
He is Cuban. Yeah,
Cuban
and
comes
their
from a Cuban background.
relationship, the way they're building their relationship, is you know,
It's
okay.
cute.
For those of you who follow us, you know this. For those of you who are new, you may not. And I have to tell you, I have a real problem with children in
Oh,
movies.
he
They're
does.
they're
Too.
either great or they're horrible. And I'm gonna tell you right now, these kids. When they were sitting there in that scene in first of all in the cafeteria and they're in
Mhm.
God, and you know he's had a crush on her the whole time, right?
Yeah.
And you're sitting there going, God, I love this kid. I love this kid. And then in two or in six,
And six,
when it progressed even further, I'm still going, I love this kid.
the kid. There's a little spoiler here. That kid gets behind a trap set, and you're like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh yeah, get it,
Get it,
buddy. Get
baby.
that Latin beat
You
going."
play them
Yes.
skins.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just sitting there going, I don't care if he's playing it or not. I'm liking this.
I'm rooting
This
for
is
him.
great.
The 5 and 6 made the turnaround. Marge is no longer on my hated list because she was there. She's the bad friend. She's the
Yeah,
worst friend, but she's slowly coming back, warming herself back up to everyone. Now that she's like, oh, crazy clown friend that was crazy, not
uh-huh.
crazy. Now I sound crazy.
And what
I
she
get
did,
it.
what she did to put the patty cakes in their place at 6 was flipping. Mwah.
Perfect. Just you hate Patty.
Perfect. Oh man. So all right. So I have to say this. So because it sounds like we're moving into 6. So I have to say this. In 5, this
Yes.
is me only, right? You can take it for you can tell me I'm wrong, and I'll be okay with that.
Okay.
But I think the main thing that happened in 5 that is going to, and I'm just trying to put on my glasses to see into the future, getting my crystal ball out and looking at it. The lockbox.
I'm glad you brought it up because I had to.
I was going to say right now. First of all, again, tying in the lore when the way they when when he had his vision and he's with his grandmother and his grandfather comes in, who we find out is actually Pennywise, being his grandfather, being and he's got the locked box and he's like, open it, because we know at this point in time that his lockbox is where he puts all the things hurtful.
Right.
We learned
Ghosts,
this,
entities, everything he's run into with his sight has gone into this lockbox.
and we learned this from Dr. Sleep because he taught how to. Bruce Howard show up in this movie or in the show. I just couldn't have it. But the way 5 is was showing the box opened and look, everything's glowing that with the eternal lights. I'm just sitting there going, oh my god. And then I love also at the end of 5 when he walks out of the tunnel and he sees what's his name that had just died, right?
Paulie,
friend, right?
Yeah, yep.
And that he shot thinking he was trying to keep his son.
Yeah.
Anyway, the way it showed him, it went to that to let you know now the box is open. My question is not only is he going to see all the dead in Derry, how is it going to affect everyone else in Derry? So and in 6, when he said, he's in his room and he's drinking the bottle, right? On all that, and Will walks in and looks and says, "Hey, he's going through all the stuff, and he's basically trying to make sure he's okay before he tells him, hey, because we have more work to do."
Right. We lost him. He was a little choppy there. Okay, we'll be back.
And it may be because we're from here, but the internet just did something real weird. So I apologize for that. Anyway, so what he's saying is, he goes, I see him, and it's okay. And he says, well, basically, he asking, if they're okay with that. And he's like, as long as they don't know that I see them, in other words, as long as I don't address them or talk to them,
Yeah.
because then they don't shut up.
Right. Then they come at.
Right. That was such a humanistic, a real life way to put it, that it made me feel really, really bad for him at that
Really.
point.
And then you get the fact that, like, when Pennywise takes the form of his grandmother and grandfather playing out in front of him, and you realize, like, Dick Halloran was abused as a child, and
Yes.
you can kind of put two and two together that his grandfather was probably the abuser, with the way he said, like, it's a gift, you can use it. You and I know that, but she doesn't, as like the grandmother doesn't.
Right.
And he holds the box, and I love that where he's like, where did you find that? And it was in the sphincter of your soul.
Yeah.
It's like just on the edge of what makes you you. And I plucked it from you. And that was just, and it busting open, and you're going, okay, I've watched The Shining, and now that's all about the shine and what happens with the shine.
Yep.
And you've got Dr. Sleep, which all what's happening with the shine. All of these things were in this box. None of them good. At the very least, there's somebody dead that won't leave him alone.
Yeah.
So, wild that the box is now open, and he immediately turns to the alcohol. Like, I need to be drunk because I'm going to look at that one. And
which is what we got in The Shining, and then we also got in Dr. Sleep. That's how they kind of self-medicate on The Shine. I again, world building. What great people that are characters that they have building in this.
And a good connection to the other cinematic universe of Stephen King, the movies, not just chapters 1 and 2 of it, but Dr. Sleep, bringing in that portion of Dr. Sleep was a great addition to really, like, this opens this up to, like, we could have a Stephen King universe if it's written properly that we can keep dipping into here.
Are you ready for this? He went to Shawshank, which, if he was there based on the timeline of Shawshank, Andy Dufresne would be there.
And Red is still there.
Yeah, they could have been here. And how did Andy escape? Through the sewers. So I mean, it all kind of can. Canonically putting all this together. So it's really kind of cool the way this is happening.
Absolutely.
In 6, we've got the black spot. We talked about that. That's where we, our love for Air Force Coke.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, she's dancing. And she's like, I like it. I like the Air Force Coke.
These kids are having a great time. They went into the sewers where there's an evil monster, but each popped a few Valium. Yeah. So high as hell walking through the sewers. You guys, I love the moment. Like, you guys holding hands? Nope.
No.
Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, we are. Yeah. But yeah, now they're hanging out at the black spot.
Sorry, that's awesome.
And now they've got Air Force. This Coke tastes funny. It's Air Force Coke.
It's Air Force Coke.
Okay.
So another thing that I loved that happened in 6, and again, world building, Ingrid Kirsch. When Lily snuck into Ingrid's house there, I don't know if you noticed or not. You heard what the record player was playing, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which was the same thing that she was playing 25 years later, as she was sitting in the house crazy as a bed bug.
Which is that connection that everybody's been asking. Is she the Kirsch from the movies? And if she is, and you're looking at the ages, you're looking at it like 120 years old. But now, knowing everything you know about Derry and Pennywise just thus far, not out of the realm of possibilities that he kept her around.
I love the fact that she walked in and the same record was playing. I was just like, I'm literally sitting there going, no, this is me at first. I'm like,
is that?
But hey,
nice.
Right? That was so cool. So cool.
Nice. And if there's any question about Ingrid, we get our answers in
she's
6.
Crazy.
Batshit crazy.
Batshit crazy. I love the fact that they opened up on the black and white Juniper Hill, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah.
I love that they opened up, and then in the scene where we see Pennywise in Juniper Hill's basement, the balloon. I love the fact that everything was in black and white.
Such a
But
great
the
shot.
balloon was still bright red as it floated, and then right as it gets through the doorway, and you see him just his hand go
Yeah.
and
Whoop.
grab it. I just sat there going, "That was so
Yeah.
that was so well done. Why can't
It's
I
a
do
it's a
things
great
like that?"
shot. It's
It
a
is a great
simple
shot.
shot, but it is so great. It sets that mood of bringing you
Yes.
back, but bringing you into like it's still very real.
Yep.
And I love the fact that we've been announced that season 2 will take place in 1935, and season 3 should take place in 1908. But we keep jumping back into those moments of 1935 ish, and we go into 1908 where we getting these little bits and pieces that we got from the interludes of the book.
Yep.
This is basically is taking place on small excerpts from the book of research done by Mike Hanlon.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we're going back. The fact that we bring the Hanlons into it. This episode starting off with Leroy, coming at Will, I bring you here to be safe and blah, blah, blah. And Will turning it around on him as like, I'm not going to leave my friends and let them die like you did to yours.
Yeah, and I'm doing what you told me to do. And I love the fact that as as his wife said, you laid your hands on our son, which I thought was a beautiful moment when he looked at it and said, I was out of my mind. That wasn't me.
Yeah.
Which again lays into what we were talking about earlier on how it is that the adults are affected.
And Will said it. He's
Yeah.
in your head. He's in your head too.
Yep. Yeah, perfect. So perfect.
And
So
the fact that Leroy's trying to raise Will as the man's man. Like he wants his boy to be a man in the world and leading him towards sports and then fishing and the outdoors when the kid just wants to read and learn. And he's now standing up and he's giving you what you want. Like he is standing up for his friends. I have friends now, Dad, and I am not going to leave them. I promise them. And being that man you wanted him to step up to be when he grows up, he's doing it now, and you didn't see it at the time.
So I love the fact that when they go back to the tower, Lily now has the meteor dagger of convenience. Okay, again, let me say that again. The meteor dagger of convenience, because there was a bunch of plot convenience that kept her alive.
Yeah, the guy dropped it. It glowed when Pennywise came near.
They couldn't find her way out. They were all running around in circles, but yet she happened to be in the same spot he dropped it at on his way out. And, okay, so yeah, there have been a couple of minor things, but you know what? So what? So what? Everything else is so well done that I can live with one or two of these little things. That was
you need some plot convenience to tie this up in 8 episodes, sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But what do you think about the fact that she's being ultra possessive over that? Is it just because her life was saved, or do you think that there's more to that?
It's precious. It's mine. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's almost like, I mean, basically what it is a piece of the star that brought the entity to our world millions of years ago.
Yeah,
it's almost infer like it's a cage. It's saying that this is what held him. So the Native Americans used it as wards to keep him in range, if you would say, or at least dialed back a bit. So the fact that she has it, it kind of makes it seem like, well, it would be really connected to him. I mean, it's like it's Superman and holding the kryptonite. You can't tell me that the kryptonite's not going to do something to anybody else, not just Superman. There's got to be something going on with that piece. If
maybe
it's affecting Pennywise,
so out of his mind with jealousy, right?
Right.
Who knows?
Right. You never know. But yeah, I do like when she confronts Ingrid. This whole episode was great because I've heard a lot of people going back to the graveyard when the pictures are snapped, and all the pictures really don't exist to anybody except for the last one, and you see a picture of a clown-ish, and there were a lot of people that were like, that's not Pennywise. Look at the hair. Look at this. Look at that.
Yep.
Look at this. It's not Pennywise. I don't care what you say. And they tie this up in this episode to where it was like one of those like, oh, very well, because
Yep.
that's like knowing people would have jumped on the fact that this doesn't look right. So we're gonna come at it. And I've heard some reviewers really come at it like no excuse for doing it that way. There is. We got this from our connections into number 6. So I really like that 6 ends in a way where you're just like, oh, okay. All right. Where's this going to go?
I will also say that 6 had one of the best jump scares. I don't want to go into any details because I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it. But it had one of the best. I mean, I am a seasoned horror veteran, and I jumped to the point that I started laughing at myself. I was like, that was well done.
There's been a couple, I'm not going to lie, there's been a couple jump scares in there. Maybe kind of do that. And then just like, yes, all right, cool. You get points for that one. You made me jump. Like, I wasn't looking for that.
You made me jump to the point.
I knew you were going to make me jump, but I didn't expect that.
Exactly. So, yeah, I have to say, Chris, I honestly believe that 6 was the least so far. It was the least episode of the series, and I think the reason that 6 was the least episode of the series is because there was a lot of tying up that had to be done in what could be called the end of the middle, right? But yet they had to open up other things. So there was a reason. I think there was a lot. It was a lot of information.
It is moved into Act 3 because we're coming. We knew coming into this in the time frame that it's at, this is going to end with the black spot. The black spot was the event in 1962 that happened, and the Native Americans said a terrible thing will happen before he goes back to sleep. And we have to get into Act 3. We're moving into Act 3. So this one kind of brings you together. We're in the black spot. We're getting all of our players in the black spot. They're explaining why our players are there. We've got poor wow.
I did the same thing earlier. I get it.
We've got Ronnie's dad, who I love the fact that the bus overturns on the way to Shawshank. I mean, that's a big thing that happens, and you have to understand that the time frame for this and what he's being accused of, he was never going to survive. Like, if he goes to prison, and we know the prison he's going to, it's Shawshank. It's beaten men down. If you've seen the movie Shawshank, you've seen the hardest of men turn into blabbering messes, because it's that kind of prison, and he's not going to make it. And there's already a lynch mob that wants him before he was headed that way. So him escaping, it's him knowing that, like, I've got to get out of here because it's not going to end well for me either way this goes. I'm a kid killer at this point, regardless of if I am or I'm not. I'm a kid killer. So him escaping and bringing us into 6, where we're how we have the Hanlons involved in this, and how we have Halloran. That's like, our boy's messed up. He's not Dick Halloran from The Shining years later. He is a drunken mess because his lockbox of bad guys are now in his bathroom.
and his hallway and
just waiting for him to look at them, and he's like, nope, I'm going to have me another sip of whatever this is.
Exactly. I will say that I'm curious on how this is going to go because, we know that the feeding cycle ends with the large event, and they're all at the black spot where the fire takes place. So my question is, are the next 2 episodes going to take place in one night?
Right.
That could be really interesting if that's the case.
That means there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it would make up for the fact that 6 kind of ties some things up to bring us here. Because they have 7 and 8 are going to blow us away with how we're going to go into Pennywise going back to sleep.
Yeah, because Periwinkle is dressed now and ready to go. She's going to the black spot also, right? So that's
she's all dressed up, ready to go. We've got our little lovely, preteen couple all jacked up on Air Force Coke
On Air Force Coke.
and just jamming to some nice Latin beats.
Oh, I tell you
And
what a great scene that was.
it was great. It was fun. I mean, it's fun. And you know what the sad thing is it's fun because it's not going to be fun here at all, man. It's going to be
horror 101, ladies and gentlemen. When you have 15 to 20 minutes of a horror movie, or in this case, an episode of a anthology, and where you have a lot of feel-good stuff going on, where you're like, oh, that's awesome. They're setting you up because they want you to be here so that when they stab you down here on the bottom, it's a bigger jump. It's a bigger drop. It's a bigger emotional drain. And
you thought they were giving you a hug. They were putting duct tape in your hair.
Yeah, this guy, this guy, this director, I'm telling you right now that he's playing it right. This is so far. Oh boy, someone asked me, all right, so we're are we done with this one? Because if we are,
because we are at the spot of what should be the tragedy we know is going to be a tragedy. Yep. There are a lot of players and actors involved, including a giant lynch mob that is dressed for Halloween. So
each mask that they wore is a and I didn't know this. I'm giving credit where credit's due. I heard someone say this on the internet, and then I looked into it and found out that was correct. That in the book, it's a different entity that the entity came as during the book. So one of them was wearing Frankenstein mask. That's where
that.
Right,
one was wearing in the movies,
the Dracula mask, so on and so forth, and of course the clown. These were all things in the book where Pennywise morphed into. So great homage there, great homage for that. I thought that was really cool.
Nice.
I read the book, and as soon as they said it, I went, "Oh my god, I forgot about that. That's great." Yeah, so really good thing. Someone asked me this question. They heard me talking about how much I've enjoyed this, and they said, "Listen, you are a big proponent of black mass." I said, "Yes." And they said, "Which one do you think's better?" And I went, "I can't answer that question because for those of you who know, I black mass to me is one of the best horror." Series that I've ever seen. That is, I mean, it's up there, right? This one so far, unless it like totally shits the bed in the next two episodes, it's gonna be right there with it.
It's staying strong. I gave it a 9 coming into this, and we're still hovering at that 9. I'm still happy with it. I want to see where 6 leads us into 7. 7 just came out this past Sunday. The season finale is this coming Sunday, so you can catch us one more week before the holidays.
Yep.
And we will be covering the final installments of this, and I'm really psyched. I'm sure there'll probably be some more time jumps to set us up for season 2. I'm thinking, or season 3. Who knows? Who knows? But we're at the point of what's going to happen, and I'm ready.
I'm super stoked and excited. So,
and speaking of Midnight Mass, and now talking about Derry, the little segue in the middle of there is Flanagan is ready to release Carrie soon.
Yeah, I'm fighting this one because I want to be excited.
Man,
Flanagan right now is probably my top horror director.
He's up there.
Everything
running it.
I always put it this way. Someone says, "Well, why do you like it so much?" I said, "Did you ever see the movie Ouija?" I'm like, "Oh God, that was horrible." I said, "Watch the second one; it was great."
Right,
and that's the difference between directors.
Right.
The second one was freaking awesome. The first,
and then you start looking into what he's done, and you're like, "Oh, that was a good one. Oh, that was a banger. Oh, that was a real banger.
He did Hush. That was great. He did that. Oh, yeah, that's great." And he's going to be doing the Dark Tower, which
we're right here. We're setting up the beams. I mean, we've got a major beam player in this one. So
yep. We've already talked about the turtle, and it means a lot. So, boy, I don't like I said, unless they just totally blow this one out of the water, it's gonna be right there with it. I think.
They're two different kind of shows. I mean, this is a story that we've known, we've read about.
Yep.
We get a little bit from the original movie with John Boy Walton.
Yep.
And
Good night, boy.
Tim Curry as Pennywise, and then the new chapters with Bill Skarsgård. We're getting those little bits in there. So yeah,
I just wanted to hear. I just wanted it once. I wanted to hear Curry go. Good night, John Boy.
John Boy. Yeah. Cover.
Anyway, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, come back and see us here next week. We're going to finish up this series. And then we've got some fun stuff starting in January. So really love the fact that you're here with us. We appreciate you. Chris, is there anything you'd like to say, everyone, before we sign off tonight?
Yep. If you could check the chat, you can go to bio.link/graverev, and that is a link to all of our socials where you can keep up with what we're doing. We try to keep up with what we're keeping up with doing. So far, we have planned for the last episode before the holidays. We are going to be doing 7-8, so make sure you join us next week.
Yes.
When we cover those. Can't wait to finish up this and get ready to be upset for waiting however long we got to wait for season 2. But anyway, you can go to that bio.link/graverev and you can catch us on all the socials. Stop in, drop by, see what we're doing. Give a like, give a sub, give a shout out. You got suggestions, you want to put some movies on the wheel. We've gotten some great suggestions.
We really have.
We've got a lot of movies to cover and we're fine with it. Some we've seen, some we have not seen. So you got some suggestions, reach out to us in any of those platforms in our DMs, as well as the email. Let us know what we're thinking. And join us live on Thursday Night Frights,
Yes.
8 p.m., where you can be part of the Talking Dead in our Talking Dead room, our Living Dead room, the chat. We love everyone in the chat. We have the greatest chat. So until then, stay spooky, friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Chris said, thank you so much for joining us. There are right now several people watching on X. Next week, don't hesitate to come over to YouTube and actually be in the chat room. We want to hear what you have to say. And that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We appreciate you. And not only do we say stay spooky, but as we always say, ladies and gentlemen, may all of your nightmares be groovy. See you next week as we take another trip to Derry. See you then, everybody.